All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're digging into a book that might just change how you look at your dinner plate forever. It's Dr. Robert Lustig's Metabolical, and it makes a pretty provocative claim about the food we eat every single day. So, Lustig kicks things off with this bombshell of a quote. A plate of poison? I mean, come on, that sounds a little dramatic, right? Like something out of a movie, not what you're having for dinner on a Tuesday night. But he is dead serious. So the question is, how can something that looks like food, tastes like food, and is sold as food actually be poison?
To really get what he's saying, we've got to strip it all back to some super simple definitions. What is food? Well, it's something that nourishes you, that helps you grow. And what's poison? It's something that makes you sick. Lustig's whole argument is that a huge amount of the processed stuff we eat fits that second definition. It's not a fast-acting poison, for sure, but a slow one that contributes to chronic disease over years and years.
Okay, so if our food can be poison, where is it coming from? Now, your first thought might be, oh, it's the pesticides, right? But Lustig says, nope, that's not even the main event. The real problem isn't necessarily what's in the food, but what's been done to it.
Look, pesticides are definitely not great. Nobody's arguing that. But Lustig says they're only about 10% of the actual problem. The other 90%? Well, that's the real issue. It's the modern magic trick of food processing, where they take real food, strip out all the good stuff, like fiber, and pump it full of other things our bodies just aren't built to handle.
So you have to be asking, how on earth did this happen? Was it just an accident? According to Lustig, absolutely not. He says if you want to understand the real story, you've got to follow the money. And that's where he introduces this pretty heavy concept he calls an immoral hazard. You've probably heard of a moral hazard, right? It's where one party profits from another's bad luck, but didn't actually cause it. But Lustig coins this new term, immoral hazard. And this is different. This, he claims, is when the perpetrator deliberately rigs the game to create the suffering that they then profit from. So how exactly is the game rigged? Well, for starters, Lustig points straight at the science itself. Check this out. According to the source, when the food industry funds its own research, those studies are more than 7 times more likely to produce a result that says, hey, our product is great. You can see how that would muddy the waters and make it almost impossible for us to know what to believe. And this isn't just some abstract theory. He gives real-world examples. Like this one, a $1.5 million sponsorship deal that the American Diabetes Association apparently signed with a huge candy and beverage company. So the very organization that's supposed to be fighting diabetes is taking major money from a company selling the very products linked to it. It's a little hard to square that circle. And it doesn't just stop with the food companies. The rabbit hole goes deeper. The source notes that at one point, a whopping 40% of the ADA's annual revenue came from donations from pharmaceutical companies. Now, if you're getting that much money from drug makers, Lustig asks, are you going to be more focused on pushing pills or promoting prevention through diet? So what's the fallout from all of this? Well, you get a healthcare system that's brilliant at treating symptoms. We've got a pill for everything, right? These are the druggable problems. But we completely ignore the root causes, what he calls the foodable ones. Because, well, there's not as much profit in just telling people to eat real food. Okay, so that's a lot. It sounds pretty bleak, doesn't it? A rigged system, poison on our plates. But here's the turn. After painting this really complex picture, Lustig's solution is actually incredibly simple. He cuts through all the nutrition noise and boils it all down to just 2 fundamental principles. And this right here is maybe the most powerful idea in the whole book. He's saying that the deep cellular problems that actually cause chronic disease, you can't invent a drug for them. There's no pill. But, and this is the key, they're all foodable. You can fix them with what you eat. So what are these 2 golden rules? Here they are. Number 1, protect your liver. Simple as that. Stop overwhelming it with a fire hose of sugar that it's forced to turn into fat. And number 2, feed your gut. You've got literally trillions of little helpers in there, your gut bacteria, and you need to give them what they love to eat, which is fiber. And when you look at food through this 2-part lens, everything suddenly clicks into place. Think about it. Processed food, usually loaded with sugar with all the fiber stripped out. It does both things wrong. It hammers the liver and it starves the gut. But real food, naturally low in sugar, packed with fiber, it does both things right. It protects the liver and it feeds the gut. It's really that simple. And this leads us to what may be one of the biggest aha moments in the whole book. Lustig basically says that most of the diet debates we're all having
are a total waste of time. You know the drill. You're scrolling online and it's just an endless war. Go vegan? No, keto is the only way. Carbs are evil. Fat will kill you. And hey, the food industry is more than happy to sell you a processed vegan burger or a box of keto-friendly cookies. But Lustig's point is that this is all a smokescreen. It's a fake war. The real battle, the one that actually matters for your health, isn't vegan versus keto. It's real food versus processed food. You can be a super healthy vegan eating whole plants, or a super unhealthy one living on processed junk. Same goes for keto. The processing is the enemy. So maybe it's time we update that old saying, you are what you eat. The source suggests a new mantra that's way more accurate for today. You are what they did with what you eat. That really shifts your thinking, doesn't it? It's not about the potato. It's about what happened to it on its way to becoming a potato chip. Okay, so the system seems huge and broken. It's easy to feel pretty powerless against all that, right? But the book's final message is actually one of empowerment. It argues that the real solution starts with you and your plate. And let's not downplay it, the problem is huge. The source says a staggering 88% of Americans are metabolically sick. Our healthcare costs are through the roof, but our life expectancy is actually going down. Our doctors are trained to prescribe medicine, not talk about nutrition. And here's the hard truth. You just can't out-exercise a bad diet. It's impossible. And that's really the bottom line here. Yes, the system has problems. Big ones. But the single most powerful lever you have, the one thing that can change your health, and maybe even start to change society's health, is right there in front of you. It's on your fork. It's on your plate. So it all comes down to this really simple but powerful choice. We're all going to pay for our food one way or another. The question is, who do you want to pay? The farmer for real food right now, or the doctor for treatments and medications down the road? Which one will you choose?